Welcome to part 14 of the Ultimate Unsolved Mysteries Iceberg. In this series, we deep dive cases including true crime, mysterious disappearances, myths and legends, strange events, cryptids, internet mysteries, and more. The Slaying of Daisaku Chiba. In January 2007, the quiet streets of Kyoto, Japan, were shaken by a tragic event that took the life of Daisaku Chiba, a 20-year-old university student with a bright future ahead. Chiba, an aspiring manga artist, was attending his first year at Kyoto Seika University. His life was abruptly and senselessly ended one evening as he was bicycling home. The incident occurred around 7:45 p.m. when an unidentified individual, described by witnesses as a man in his 20s or 30s, confronted Chiba. In a shocking and unprovoked attack, Chiba was stabbed over a dozen times, including wounds to his chest and stomach, ultimately leading to his demise at a nearby hospital. Despite his critical condition, Chiba was able to communicate briefly, expressing confusion and dismay, stating he had no idea who his assailant was. Locals, not accustomed to violence, were left in disbelief as news of the violent act spread. His loss was deeply felt by the university community and beyond, prompting his professors and classmates to take a unique approach in seeking justice. In an effort to gather information and possibly lead to the capture of the assailant, the Faculty of Manga at Kyoto Seika University embarked on an innovative campaign. They created and distributed a manga pamphlet detailing Chiba's life and the circumstances of his untimely passing. This 20-page pamphlet, split between describing the suspect and celebrating Chiba's life, was distributed at key locations, including the main Japan Railway station in Kyoto. The initiative aimed not only to solicit leads that could assist in the investigation, but also to honor Chiba's memory and generate interest in his case. Unfortunately, despite this caring gesture, his slaying still remains unsolved. Importantly, in 2022, the Japanese National Police Agency offered a substantial sum of money for information relating to the arrest of the perpetrator. If you have any information that may be helpful to police, as usual, I strongly encourage you reach out to the relevant authorities. The disappearance of Julie Weflin. This case comes by way of recommendation from subscriber Vaden K. Remember to leave recommendations on any cases or mysteries you want covered in the comments below. On September 16, 1987, Julie Ann Weflin, a 28-year-old employee of the Bonneville Power Administration in Spokane, Washington, vanished under mysterious circumstances. The day she disappeared, Weflin was working alone, tasked with maintaining and inspecting power equipment at a remote substation near Riverside State Park. She logged into the Spring Hill substation in the afternoon, and it's believed she returned to her minivan around 3:45 p.m., intending to head back. However, she never made it. Instead, what was left at the scene painted a grim picture. Her hard hat, toolbox, a water bottle, and sunglasses were found scattered on the ground beside her vehicle. Further, her vehicle had its driver's side door and back hatch open, and her purse still inside, indicating a sudden and forcible departure. The investigation into Julie Weflin's disappearance has been extensive, yet fraught with challenges. The physical evidence at the scene that the investigators have disclosed to the public include drag marks and unfamiliar tire tracks near her vehicle. Investigators have publicly proposed that she may have been overpowered by two people, though the specific reasoning for this assertion is unknown. Investigators have also publicly advised that she was likely slain. However, at present she remains officially classified as missing. As usual during an open investigation, numerous details cannot be disclosed to the public. Despite these clues and a significant reward offered for information leading to the resolution of the case, her fate remains unknown, and no suspects have been formally identified. If you have any information in relation to this case, please contact the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. The Lufthansa Heist. The Lufthansa Heist, executed on December 11, 1978, at John F. Kennedy International Airport, remains one of the most brazen thefts in American history. Unlike most unsolved mysteries in this series, the Lufthansa Heist is extremely well documented. Thought to be orchestrated by James Burke, a notable figure associated with the Lucchese crime family, this heist was one of the largest operations in American history. The operation was estimated to have secured $5 million in cash and almost $1 million in jewelry, totaling just shy of $6 million in 1978 currency. Adjusted for inflation, this amount would be equivalent to approximately $30 million today, highlighting the heist's monumental scale. The operation was allegedly meticulously planned over several months, exploiting inside information provided by Louis Werner, a Lufthansa cargo agent and gambler in debt. Werner, allegedly aware of the monthly arrival of large cash sums exchanged in Germany, saw an opportunity for a significant score. He is alleged to have conveyed this possibility to his bookmaker, Martin Krugman, who then allegedly passed the idea to Burke. The intelligence included detailed layouts of the cargo building, employee schedules, and the vault's security mechanisms. On the night of the heist, a stolen Ford Econoline van carrying armed men, disguised with ski masks, arrived at the cargo building. The employees present were quickly overpowered and secured. Utilizing a key and inside knowledge, the robbers accessed the vault without triggering alarms, loading numerous cartons of untraceable currency into the van. The execution was flawless, with the entire operation concluding without immediate detection, as the robbers instructed employees to delay contacting the police, ensuring their escape. The aftermath saw a mix of paranoia and police investigation, leading to a series of unfortunate events. Despite intense efforts by law enforcement, including surveillance and analysis of known associates, the bulk of the stolen assets remained unrecovered. Further, most involved either vanished or met grim fates without ever being formally charged. The only conviction related to the heist was of Louis Werner, the inside man whose information made the robbery possible. Also, if any of this sounds familiar to you, it's likely because you've watched Goodfellas, Martin Scorsese's 1990 masterpiece. Stay tuned because the fate of two of the alleged participants will be discussed further in this episode. The Flatwoods Monster. The Flatwoods Monster has been a source of intrigue and mystery since its first reported sighting in 1952 in West Virginia. On the evening of September 12, 1952, a group of children playing in the small town of Flatwoods claimed to have seen a bright object streak across the sky and crash on a nearby hill. Accompanied by a local adult, Kathleen May, and a National Guardsman, Gene Lemon, they went to investigate. What they reportedly encountered has since become the stuff of legend, a towering figure with a red face, glowing eyes, and a dark, metal-like appearance. This entity, later dubbed the Flatwoods Monster, was said to emit a pungent mist that caused irritation and sickness among the witnesses. Initial investigations by local police and subsequent inquiries found no conclusive evidence of the creature's existence. Despite this, the story gained national attention, with newspapers and radio broadcasts spreading the tale across the country. The Flatwoods Monster's description as a 10-foot-tall entity with a spade-like face and glowing eyes captivated the public's imagination. This initial encounter remains one of the most well-documented and widely discussed sightings in cryptid lore. Further sightings around the same time added to the mystery. Before the encounter in Flatwoods, a woman named Audra Harper and her friends reported seeing a ball of fire and a tall figure in the same area. Following the Flatwoods incident, a couple reported their car malfunctioning and encountering a similar monstrous figure, which vanished after approaching them. These additional accounts contributed to the lore surrounding the Flatwoods Monster, suggesting a series of related phenomena rather than an isolated incident. Skeptical explanations have posited that the sighting was a result of misidentification, possibly of a large barn owl, influenced by the heightened anxieties of Cold War America. The combination of a meteor, the silhouette of an owl, and the witnesses' state of fear might have contributed to the creation of the monster in their minds. In my view, the Flatwoods monster was a case of mass hysteria overlaid on top of an owl misidentification. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If people knew about the size and capabilities of owls, a large portion of cryptid sightings would be considered definitively solved. Anyway, in my view, the Flatwoods monster is definitely not a hoax, and the people who saw the creature genuinely believed they had seen a cryptid. The Slaying of Belle Starr. In the late 19th century, the tale of Belle Starr, an American outlaw, captured the nation's imagination. Her infamy peaked when her life was cut short in a violent ambush in 1889, just days before her 41st birthday. Belle Starr's life was marked by her association with notorious figures and her involvement in criminal activities, such as horse theft, for which she was once convicted and served time in Detroit. While Belle Starr was a well-known figure in the United States prior to World War I, her fame has significantly waned over the years. Following the death of her husband, Sam Starr, in a gunfight, Belle continued her life of crime, eventually marrying Jim July Starr, a younger man and a relative of Sam. The circumstances of Belle Starr's demise remain shrouded in mystery. She was fatally ambushed while returning home from a neighbor's house, shot multiple times to ensure her demise. Theories about her attacker vary, with one account suggesting she was killed by Edgar J. Watson, a sharecropper who was later acquitted of the crime. Other suspicions have fallen on her family members and her new husband, all harboring potential motives for her killing. Despite various theories, the case remains unsolved, with no one ever definitively identified as the assailant. Jimmy here, the YouTuber behind the Lazy Chill Zone channel, asking a quick favor. If you're enjoying my content, please hit the like and subscribe buttons and the notification bell. My goal is to create the most expansive iceberg series in YouTube history, and I want you all along for the ride. Also, consider signing up for a YouTube membership, joining the Patreon, and joining the Discord. The Slaying of Magdalena Stoffels. In 2010, the tragic loss of a Namibian schoolgirl, Magdalena Stoffels, sent shockwaves through this African nation. On a July morning, the 17-year-old's life was abruptly ended near her school in Windhoek, Namibia, after a brutal assault. Despite immediate investigation efforts, the responsible party remains at large, leaving a community in mourning and a family seeking closure. The events following Stoffels' tragic passing ignited a nationwide debate on gender-based violence, bringing the issue to the forefront. An initial suspect, Junius Philippus, was named and charged with her slaying, with angry citizens calling for the reinstatement of the death penalty due to his alleged acts. However, forensic evidence collected eventually led to all charges being dropped in 2011, with Philippus being officially ruled out as a suspect. I was able to locate an article from a Namibian newspaper called New Era Live from November 2018. It was an extremely difficult read, as it included an interview with Magdalena's mother. Her mother, out of religious conviction, has forgiven her daughter's killer, but has devoted her life to bringing the killer to justice. There still appears to be an active and open investigation into this case. However, unfortunately, I was not able to find where leads with respect to her case may be directed. Alaric's Lost Treasure. The tale of Alaric's Lost Treasure is a legend that sprung out of the Visigothic king, Alaric's audacious sacking of Rome in 410 AD. This event, significant for its psychological impact on the Roman Empire, led to Alaric amassing vast wealth. The plunder has traditionally included 2 tons of gold, 13 tons of silver, alongside luxurious items like Chinese silks, high-end fleeces, and spices. In the aftermath of the sacking, Alaric's intentions to move his army to Sicily and then to Africa were cut short by his untimely death. Alaric's death in the same year shrouded his burial and the treasure's whereabouts in mystery. The intrigue around Alaric's final resting place is steeped in the dramatic narrative of his burial. According to historical accounts, Alaric was laid to rest in a tomb beneath the bed of the Busento River with his treasure. In a move to keep the site a secret, the river's course was temporarily diverted, the king and his riches interred, and then the waters were returned to their path, erasing any trace. To ensure the location remained a mystery, everyone who dug the grave was slain. Over centuries, the allure of Alaric's treasure has ignited the imaginations and ambitions of many, from 18th century explorers to Nazi leaders during the 20th century. Despite these efforts, Alaric's burial site and his treasure have remained elusive, cementing their status as one of history's great mysteries. The town of Cosenza, near the supposed burial site, has even undertaken official searches, with the hope of uncovering this treasure, aiming to attract tourism and solve the ancient puzzle. While this treasure trove is deeply steeped in legend, in my view, it shouldn't be dismissed. The plausibility of Alaric's treasure being buried with him aligns with the practices of Germanic tribes, including the Visigoths. Germanic chieftains and kings were often buried along with their wealth to honor them in death. Further, this tradition was rooted in the strong belief that this wealth could serve him in the afterlife, and as such, it was not merely a custom, but a religious duty. This practice could be seen half a millennia later, where powerful and dreaded Vikings would include a significant portion of their worldly possessions in their graves. While nothing has ever been officially recovered from this lost treasure trove, like other lost treasures in this series, I don't think this should indicate it doesn't or didn't exist. After all, the fastest way to lose your newfound treasure is to tell everyone you've come into stunning riches suddenly. The Lost Florentine Diamond. The Lost Florentine Diamond is a tale that captures the imagination, blending history with mystery. This gem, originating from India, boasts a light yellow hue with faint green overtones and weighs in at 137 carats. Known by various names including the Tuscan, the Tuscany Diamond, and the Austrian Yellow Diamond, its journey through history is as fascinating as its physical appearance. The diamond story begins with Charles the Bold, Duke of Burgundy, who allegedly wore it into the Battle of Nancy in 1477, where upon his demise, a soldier found and sold it. This marked the beginning of its illustrious journey through the hands of various owners, including Ludovico Sforza, and eventually the Medici family, enriching the treasury of Florence. It was later recut in Florence, Italy, becoming a prized possession of the Medici and subsequently the Habsburg family, included in the Austrian crown jewels. However, the diamond's fate took a turn after World War I. With the fall of the Austrian Empire, it was reportedly taken into exile by Emperor Charles I of Austria. Rumors abound regarding its disappearance, suggesting it was stolen and possibly taken to South America or the United States, where it was recut and sold. Despite various theories, the exact whereabouts of the Florentine diamond remain unknown, leaving its story open to speculation. The Slaying of Caesarion. The story of Caesarion, the last pharaoh of Ptolemaic Egypt, unfolds against a backdrop of political intrigue, power struggles, and the eventual consolidation of power by Rome over Egypt. Born in 47 BC and officially known as Ptolemy XV, though commonly known as Caesarion, was the son of Julius Caesar and Cleopatra. His birth was a culmination of the strategic alliance between his mother, Cleopatra, aiming to solidify her power, and Julius Caesar, representing Rome's interests in Egypt. Despite his royal lineage, Caesarion's life was overshadowed by the tumultuous events that followed his father's assassination in 44 BC. Cleopatra's attempt to align with Rome through Caesar fell apart, and her subsequent liaison with Mark Antony did little to secure a stable future for her son. This alliance, however, led to the expansion of their dominion, but also set the stage for their downfall. In the wake of Mark Antony's defeat by Octavian, later Caesar Augustus, in 31 BC at the Battle of Actium, the political landscape shifted dramatically against Cleopatra and her son. In a desperate bid to save Caesarion, Cleopatra sent him away with plans to escape across the Red Sea. Some traditions hold that he was to be transported as far away as India by sea route. Following Cleopatra's demise, Caesarion returned to Egypt, possibly lured by promises of power from Octavian. This decision proved fatal, with tradition holding that Octavian eliminated this potential rival for control over Rome and Egypt. The motivations behind Caesarion's return to Egypt, and consequently his tragic end, have been subject to speculation. Some sources suggest that he was lured back to Egypt by a promise by Octavian that he could rule as a client king of Rome in Egypt. However, it seems odd that he would have believed this, given that Octavian had either slain his mother or forced her to end herself. At any rate, he ought to have known his elimination cleared Octavian's path to undisputed power, marking the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the beginning of a new era under Roman rule. Perhaps one of his trusted advisors was compromised by Octavian and convinced him to come back. Another theory states that Octavian wished to end a potential rival for a claim to Julius Caesar's legacy, given that he was Julius Caesar's adoptive son. The exact circumstances of the demise of Caesarion remain unknown, and it is not entirely confirmed that he was slain on Octavian's orders. Saki Sanabashi. Saki Sanabashi, also known by Go for a Punch, is an enigmatic piece of alleged lost media that has captivated the curiosity of internet users worldwide. Originating from a 2015 post on 4chan's paranormal board, an anonymous user shared their encounter with a disturbing anime. This anime purportedly depicted a group of girls trapped in a bathroom without any escape, leading to their dire ends. The author of the post stated the girls engaged in melancholic discussions prior to their endings. The post sparked widespread intrigue, prompting a fervent online search for the anime, despite its existence being unconfirmed and possibly fictional. In 2019, a Reddit user cleverly named Saki Sanabashi OP stated that they were behind the hoax, and they had posted it as a joke. Given the anonymous nature of 4chan, no proof was provided by this Reddit poster, and likely no proof could be provided. Despite this so-called confession, the search for this alleged piece of lost media continues till this day, though with much less intensity. I feel like this falls squarely within the realm of an urban legend rather than lost media. In my view, this stems from the initial source for the tale of Saki Sanabashi. The X board on 4chan is a hub for paranormal and supernatural discussions, known for its unfiltered and often speculative content. It's not a board for discussing anime, though my research indicates that numerous such boards exist for this purpose on the website. Its nature, fostering anonymity and a lack of accountability, means that information shared can range from intriguing theories to outright fabrications without consequence. Further, it appears that the board's culture encourages the sharing of personal experiences, conspiracy theories, and unverified stories without the expectation of evidence or factual accuracy. The Slayings of Robert McMahon and Joe Manry. The Slayings of Robert McMahon and Joe Manry, allegedly in connection to the Lufthansa Heist, remain, quote, unsolved till this day. The slayings underline the brutal aftermath and the lengths to which the alleged perpetrators went to silence those who could expose them. McMahon, serving as an Air France night shift supervisor at Kennedy Airport, had an intimate knowledge of the airport's operations. This allegedly made him invaluable to the planning and execution of the heist. Despite not directly participating in the theft, his alleged association and potential knowledge of the individuals involved marked him for elimination. Joe Manry was also allegedly a crucial figure in the planning of the Lufthansa heist. He allegedly leveraged his position as a night shift Air France cargo supervisor at JFK Airport to provide insider information. McMahon, along with Joe Manry, were found dead 5 months after the heist, in a parked car, each with a gunshot wound to the back of the head. This methodical execution style suggests a deliberate effort to eliminate potential risks of exposure or betrayal. Further, it suggests that there was no passion involved in these crimes. These slayings were the work of a professional. Interestingly, both McMahon and Manry had been offered entrance in the Witness Protection Program in exchange for giving evidence against their alleged co-conspirators. Unfortunately, I have a sneaking suspicion that their slayings will remain unsolved. The Nandi Bear. The Nandi Bear, a creature steeped in East African folklore, particularly within the narratives of the Nandi people of Western Kenya, fascinates both locals and cryptozoologists alike. Known by various names in local languages, the Nandi Bear is described as a formidable carnivore with a strong physical build. It's described as having high front shoulders towering over 4 feet, a sloping back, and the capacity to stand on its hind legs. Historical accounts and sightings have painted a vivid picture of this cryptid, suggesting a creature with dark, thick fur, resembling the European brown bear. However, despite the name, its behaviors and physical attributes are much more akin to a powerful tree-climbing hyena. This cryptid's diet, according to legend, included the brains of its prey, further contributing to its terrifying reputation. The sightings of the Nandi Bear span back to at least the 19th century, with notable encounters documented in the early 20th century. Despite these numerous accounts, the Nandi Bear has eluded capture and definitive identification, leading to a variety of theories regarding its existence. Some speculate it to be a surviving example of an extinct creature, while more common scientific explanations are of the view that it is simply a hyena misidentification. The most recent documented sighting occurred in 1998, when a couple encountered a large, shaggy animal that resembled a hyena but was significantly larger. Mass hysteria offers a plausible explanation for sightings of entities like the Nandi Bear. This psychological phenomenon can occur when fear, rumors, or belief in an entity or presence spreads among a group, leading to widespread social contagion. In such cases, individuals may report seeing or experiencing phenomena that have no external basis in reality. The power of suggestion, fueled by folklore and reinforced by community endorsement, can cause people to genuinely perceive threats or entities that are not there. This perhaps explains why the Nandi Bear was consistently seen in the late 19th century and early 20th century, at the height of its popularity. Further, it offers a sensible explanation as to why Nandi Bear sightings have functionally run dry today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, check out the Patreon, my YouTube membership, and the Discord. Links are in the description. Shout out to my patrons Noah Schubert, Kazakh Cutie, Kurt the Squirt, Monoxide Wendigo, and Jeffer Metcalf. Also, shout out to YouTube member Jordan All. Until next time, stay safe and healthy. Peace out.